Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Roger Dodger here, and I wanted to do a quick video because I had somebody comment, and he was asking me, hey, you know, I'm thinking about buying a E92 or E9X BMW M3. What are some of the things that I should look for? Well, that's going to be a tough one because, you know, everybody examines their cars a little bit differently, but you know, I'll give you, you know, a couple examples of what I do when I go look for my cars, when I go buy them. Since I've bought, you know, 6 BMWs by now, and they all have their own little typical backstory to them. And you know, I'll break it down like this. Here's a short answer to make a video really quick. Get the car, take it to a garage, you know, a certified BMW garage or something like that, and have them look at it. Me, I personally do not do that, just because, you know, I've bought many cars. I think close to 20 cars in my lifetime, and you know, so I'll go through some of the things that I do when I pick out a car. One, figure out what type of car you want. If it's E9X, you know, figure out, do you want a 4-door, do you want the convertible, do you want the coupe? So you have 3 options. Figure out the color that you want. Me, my preference of color is a gray. You know, like, I like different colors for the outside. I really like blue a lot. I like grays. I stay away from black. I had a couple black cars because you can see every little speck of dirt. White, I don't know. White's okay, you know. It's not a bad color because it really goes with everything. You know, I like the grays. I like the Laguna Seca blue. I like the Phoenix Gold yellow. You know, so many different colors. You know, the Emola red. You know, there's I don't know. It's really up to you. So when it comes to interior colors, I'm very picky. Black, even though everybody says black leather is really hot, you know, if you keep it in the garage, something like that. I'm here in New York, and it was about 90 degrees when I got in the car today, and it wasn't bad at all. I do like gray, and I do like the blood red interior, whatever it's called. I cannot stand white because white would just get too dirty too quick, and I cannot stand tan because every time I see tan, it always comes with wood trim. I can't stand the wood trim, not in a sports car. I think that just looks tacky. That's just my opinion. So that's the color combinations. Obviously, you know, you have wheels and whatever else. Personally, I would stay away from a modified car just because I would just stay away from it. And you know, I have a small modified car, you know, whether it's suspension or whatever else, and trust me, it poses this whole new set of problems when you start, you know, putting stuff on your car yourself and stuff like that. So I would stay away from any car that's modified and get something that's predominantly stock. That way you can work with it later on if you want to, so you know what's done with it. When it comes to, you know, getting in the car, first, you know, say, you found one in your right price, and you go look at it. You know, what I do is I turn every electrical thing on I can in that thing. I turn the AC on. I don't care if it's, you know, 20 below. I turn all the lights on, you know, your blinkers, you know, I do a walk around the car, check the brakes, you know, check everything I can. All the interior lights, I check all that. I want to make sure that everything looks good. Are you going to find everything? You're probably going to forget about 1 or 2 things because, you know, some BMWs come with some options that just, you know, you won't know until you actually dip into it and start driving the car, whether they actually work or not. So, like, I'll give you an example. What something I found wrong with mine after I bought it was under the or right above the door handle here on the door panel. There's an LED that really kind of lights up right above the door handle, so you can kind of see the door handle. It really kind of illuminates the whole thing. It's like an LED strip or something like that. Because it was during the daytime and it's orange, you know, LEDs, I couldn't see it, and I didn't know. I actually didn't know for a while. So I looked over on the driver's side. I was like, what's the orange over there? And then sure enough, there's a little LED strip that's under there that's lighting the door handle. And I didn't know about that, and it doesn't work on my driver's side. Not a big deal, to be honest with you, for me. You know, make sure cup holders work. You know, I've broken one of my cup holders so far. I had to replace it, but to me it's not that big of an issue. You know, it just doesn't auto come out and in anymore when I press it. You know, I just have to pull it in and out. You know, big deal. But when it comes to obviously dents and dings, you know, if you know me, I personally would want something that's, you know, got no dents and dings. But if you're buying a used car, you know, depending on how many miles that are on it, you probably want something that's, you know, fairly good condition. You know, some people like to buy a salvage car. That's up to them. So on and so forth. Next is really kind of the, you know, the drivetrain. You know, the heart and soul of the car. When it comes to the E9X models, obviously you have to be aware of the rod bearing issues that are taking place in people's cars. You have to know about the actuators that are going bad in people's cars. The rod bearings, you know, that will cost you roughly $2,500. I had one garage tell me $5,000. I looked at him like he was crazy. And you know, the throttle actuators, I'm hearing that they're about $1,100 a piece, and you should replace both of them. You know, so that's a, you know, I think close to a $5,000, $4,000 job if BMW were to do it in their garage. So I'm hearing, you know, also the idle control valve, I've heard in some cases, you know, goes bad and your car starts idling like shit. So, you know, obviously check some service records. If it's a BMW, hopefully the guy has service records. I'll just start there. All right, if the guy is a DIYer, you know, maybe try to see if he has a book of receipts or something like that. You know, for my other BMW, I have a whole fat book of receipts that I've kept with the car so they can see how much I paid for everything, what I've done to the car, you know, when I did the oil changes, and so on and so forth to the car. And I've kept all that. And obviously, if you're, I can't say it in this car because there's no dipstick. I usually carry around a rag with me, or, you know, a couple paper towels, because what I'll do is I'll get up under the car, you know, I'll look at the suspension, you know, see if the bushings look dry rotted out. Try to see as much as you can under there. Under the M3s, there's like skid plates all over the car. They're like these plastic, I guess, decorative skid plate panels or something. You can't really see anything under the car at all. So if you have an oil leak, you might not even be able to see it. So pop your hood open. Because there's no dipstick, you can't check what the oil looks like. On the older cars, you can. I would just pull it out, you know, see if does it look milky, does it look extremely black. You know, if you know, you should know the color of oil, which is kind of like a brownish, dark brownish gold. You know, when you look at it in the sun. You know, check the brake fluid, make sure it's in you know, proper color, and make sure it's topped off at the correct area. You know, look at the water. I think BMW's water is blue, I think if I'm correct. You know, if it starts turning like something like a brown or whatever, you know, that means it needs to be cleaned. You know, same thing, you know, check power steering fluid, and so on and so forth. Okay, check all your fluids in the car. You know, windshield wiper fluid is not a big deal, but I like to know that the windshield wiper fluid actually flows in the car, because the pump might be bad, or might be a restriction in the line, and you won't get your windows clean. If you are looking for anything oil, you're going to be looking around the head valve covers. Those typically have a tendency to leak on pretty much any car, so check over there. If it's starting to leak, obviously you know that the gasket is deteriorating. That's not a big fix at all, really, valve cover gaskets, but it's just something that's a nuisance, because it really will gunk up your engine and make it look really dirty and greasy and grimy. Another thing to look for is right at the neck of where the oil goes into. Like on mine, I think the seal is going bad, and it just, you know, you can see that it's getting a little more oil grime around. Oops, sorry about that, burping. A little bit of oil grime around it. Same thing is going on with my power steering fluid cap. You know, it seals. It's just the seal is deteriorating. And that same thing, you know, happened on my E36 also, and my E46. So that's a common feature. Pretty much, I think I've seen on every car, American or foreign car, is always a power steer and fluid cap. So obviously, you're going to want to drive the car. You know, let's say get under there, look for any puddles of anything. You know, if you see any water leaks or something like that, you know, coolant is, you know, like I said, it's going to be blue or green or orange in some cases. You know, check for any differential leaks. Check for any leaks under the car that you can possibly spot. Like I said, you know, you're probably not going to be able to jack it up if you're at a dealership. You know, whatever. Next thing is obviously drive the car. You know, start it with the pop the hood up, listen to the engine, really listen to the engine. You're looking for any like knocking or pinging or anything that doesn't sound smooth. That could indicate that there's wear going on in there, or that there's a future problem that's going to arise, or that there's a problem right now. Obviously, you're going to be checking for check engine lights. You can bring an OBD2 code reader. Like I use one that's like $30. It's a Bluetooth, and I pop it into my phone. And I use what was it? Torque. I can't remember I think it's called Torque. I think it's the name of the program. And I can tap into the car's computer. It's really basic, but it'll tell me if anything's wrong right off the bat. You know, some codes, like I said, you know, you can clear them, and then it will take 30 miles, maybe 60 miles for the code to come back. You really have to be careful of that. Best bet is to be able to get to drive the car for maybe 2 days straight. Not all dealerships, and definitely I don't know too many people, like if you're buying from a private owner, that will allow you to do that. But I did have one dealership that let me take the car through the weekend. I just had to leave my car there, which was fine, and I got to really drive the car, beat on it a little bit, and really figure out if I liked it or not. And that's what sold me on that car, was he let me take it for the weekend. And I found out everything that was wrong with it, what needed to be fixed, and so on and so forth. This is an older Mustang that I had. So, yeah, I ended up buying that car. When you're driving a car, you know, I don't care what the guy says, the sales guy, you beat on that car, man. You really get up on it. You know, the M's, obviously you want to wait for it to warm up a little bit. You'll know when it's warm because on the E9X, the orange will be almost right, it'll be like right at 7,900 RPM, the little orange tick. So it'll be warmed up. And like I said, hammer on that car, man, because you know, when that thing starts heating up, some things might actually be wrong with the car once it starts heating up. And you'll find out the problems, you know, if it might go into lit mode or something like that. Who knows? So, I have a really, really cool BMW story I'll have to create a whole new video for, because it will take a few minutes, but it's a really cool story. Best dealership I've ever bought an M car at. The last one where I bought this one, guys they're all about business and money. So, and the guy was trying to tell me not to beat on it, and I kept telling him, hey, you want me to buy the car? I'm gonna drive it. You know, drive it like you stole it. So, and really see how the thing goes through the gears, if it's a manual or even if it's a DCT. And you know, you're looking for anything. If you're driven a manual, obviously you're looking for anything that's slipping, which means that the thing will rev before it actually kind of gets into gear. You know, same thing I think with the automatic. You know, just make sure the gears are engaging properly. You know, obviously put it in. You know, you have your sport mode, your EDC. Check all those little functions down here in your power. Check your M button. So on and so forth. Check all that stuff, man. I mean, I can't stress it enough. There's so many features of the cars these days that you're going to be going through for a while. Take your time. You know, be patient. The right car is going to come. You know, EIC, he's looking for, you know, his right car, you know, right now. And I think it was maybe like, you know, 10 days ago or something like that he sold his, you know, E9X. E93 convertible that he had. You know, so he's just taking a little bit of time, you know, finding it, because, you know, you want to find the right car, something that's going to last. The last thing you want to do is spend a lot of money on a car, especially if you're at a younger age, that has something go wrong and you can't afford to fix it. So especially if it's out of warranty, and if you don't know how to turn a wrench. So there you go, guys. You know, like I said, I hope this helped you. You know, the guy who asked me the question. Like I said, everybody's going to have their own opinion on how you do things. You know, my advice would be do everything that I said, and then take it to a garage also. And, you know, because you can never be too sure. Just have them look things over when they can put it up on a lift, and everything will be just fine, hopefully. So, all right, guys, that's my vlog for today. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, if you did, give me a likes up. If you did, give me a like. If you like my channel, subscribe. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Roger Dodger. I'm out.